Alright, we're going first. Man, this is a nice open. Man, this is such a juicy opening. Oh, I cannot say no to this. The cool part about this deck is that you have so many like cantrips that you will always hit a land. Basically, you won't miss lands most of the time. We could bounce it. This one, yeah, will probably be a 3-2. I think we go for Sleight of Hand. Oh, man. We have to take it. Guys, we have to take it. This is way too important. Like, Day of Judgment, like, hits like justice against this deck. Whenever this attacks. Huh. They don't control a token. I think we chill with this, and we just buy time. Because we will have to hit a land. Normally I would take a land, but this card is so important for this matchup that we will just try to play the whole game around it. Or just draw it from the top, like a true Master of Magic. Let's go. Have you played Master of Magic? I did. We need to have a land that is untapped, probably. Is it already siege time? It kinda feels like siege time, right? We should have enough value. And we have a crystal, don't forget. We can go siege, opt, and Day of Judgment. Man, this deck is so cool. Like, it actually does so much. I really enjoy this type of strategy. Alright, that does absolutely nothing. My question is, do we wait one more turn? I think we could afford it, to be honest. Water Crystal discounts everything, but I think Siege is better. We won't die on the next turn. Right? Right! Let's go. And with this, we will mill so many extra cards, man. So basically, you want to set it up before you sweep, because very often there's so much pressure, turn after turn after turn, that you will never get this 3 mana. And when you take a small hit on this turn, you can basically set up the rest of the game, and you will realize that you have this like 6 turns faster than you would normally. And that will be like 30-40 cards milled, you know? So that's the difference between winning and just, you know, starting at turn 8. Perfect. Everything that doesn't have haste is like not a biggie. Ordering? Right? They would scry if they played them in opposite or man, aggro players. They play the same deck for months and they still cannot solve it. So sure, they take the card, which is good for them, don't get me wrong, but the whole board dies. And that's probably not good for, you know, an aggro player. That means we're hitting this one. We mill our opponent. Do we take the land if we get it offered? I'm actually not sure. I need to sweep. Yeah, with think twice, lands equal cards. Because we have so many cards. Yeah, that was the correct choice. Absolutely perfect. Let's go. We don't have too much time, so we will have to go a little bit crazy on the next turn. And we also want to hit a land, because then we can drop water crystal into think twice. This is okay, but it will hit like a truck on the next turn. They can probably amplify it. We didn't hit, which is a bit painful. Okay, I think this is it. We can probably mill them on the next turn, I think. Potentially. Especially if we hit a land here. 8 cards, please. This is so good. I wanted the land. This is a great card, but not really on this turn. Okay, they will play something that amplifies all the creatures and hit for 6 probably. Banishing Light. Well, that's something I did not expect. Well, this is a bit painful. Alright, at least they didn't pump the creature, so we will have more time, but that's... Oh, they pump like this. It's permanent, right? Oh man, that was so close. Okay, so it puts on Rabbit, but... Wait. Entered the battlefield, so that's why this one. We can kill it. Or we can just go Banishing Light. Can we mill them? That's the most important part. We need to play 4 spells, right? After this one. I don't think... Can we? Alright, I need to think about it. So we use Get Lost. We kill this. We assume that we draw untapped land. We have 4 mana, so we can go this, and we need 1 mana. And we have this. 3 spells. 24 cards. Okay, so we need one more turn. They can use the map tokens, don't forget. We can play everything except stock up at instant speed. So I think we wait for the draw. Man, this will be close. I think we'll win this. I honestly think we'll win this. This draw is super important. I want them to have something that doesn't have instant impact. This doesn't have it. So now we need to make all the targeting, right? Another. So they will get the counter. Alright. No, no, no. We need to cast it at combat phase. So we played this. And we can Into the Roil and draw a card. They get the counter on something. I think it's worth it. Alright. They didn't go for the Offspring. They did. Alright, good. We're not dead yet on this turn. I think. Alright. Our opponent is swinging. They know we have something because of how we play. It's important that they get the map tokens after the combat phase, so they cannot put those counters. Now we get this back. Of course we go for the mill. And now we can start milling while defending. We need to get lost this guy, because it's the most stats. They will put 2 counters on those rabbits. So this will be literally 5 damage. That's why it was so important to, you know, go like this. And the problem is that we can, we could target one of those, but then they get counters on the other one. So, you know, a little bit awkward situation. And if they had a single map token before the combat phase, they would put this missing 1 damage and they would win the game. So that's why it was so important. And this one is out. And none of those enter the battlefield on this turn, so they cannot pump it, even though I think this is sorcery. No, they can do it at instant speed. But they can put counters on those. They cannot use them. That's lethal, but it's unplayable right now. They will play it after this turn, and it will be too late. And now they have only 21 cards. 20 and counting. Like, we can absolutely win this. This is so cool. The best deck of the format, super aggro, and we managed to mill them completely. And honestly, they had really good start. Like, they started with, you know, turn 1 play into some strong... Yeah, the bounce on this guy was probably the difference between winning and losing. Now they can pump everything. Like, they're preparing for the next turn, but the next turn will not really happen. Oh, they think they can play it. Such an optimistic view. Let's start milling. Nope, ain't getting this one. We know they still need to play, because maybe we don't have the play. Maybe we don't have enough cards to chain. Well, with stock up, they probably should realize that we will find every... Oh man, this is so many plays. And you can see how quickly this deck mills. It mills in a way faster than Jace. Like, you can mill 40-50 cards with this very easily. And, I mean, this is just scry. So we take the card. Oh, our opponent has nothing. That should be good. GG. Alright. Our opponent playing those uncountable lizards already. Let's go with starting town, just so we can have it untapped. And then we'll see what our opponent is trying to do. They will probably attack first with Hired Claw. Oh, this is... Yeah. So this is like a lizard deck. It's not mono red, it's lizard deck. They probably have a play. It could be... No, Mentor needs them to have Mentor in the board before the attack happens. So I could prevent this 2 damage, but they have untapped mana, so I would expect them to play a 2-drop right now. And it's better to bounce the 2-drop. Well, not necessarily this one that gives mana. Very good for our opponent, that's for sure. Oh, that's an interesting play. You know what? This kinda works for us. Because we don't want to bounce this one. This one is like free, in a way. But here we kinda prevented the whole thing, so I'm pretty happy with this. Now we go stock up, because we need to hit a land for the next turn. Let's go Verge. And honestly, Day of Judgment, like this is the reason why the card is in the deck for matchups like this. So they probably don't have as many hasters. Lizards usually don't have too much haste. Which means they will set up a huge board, we sweep it, and we don't get the damage. So that's really nice. Yeah, the damage from those hard crows, of course, hurts like crazy. It's a little bit of haste, but, you know, it's way better than them just attacking, you know? And this is our first Day of Judgment turn. Like, this is necessary. We are so far behind on the board. No, I think it's 2 mana, or is it 1 mana? Okay, I thought there's a different card of this type of effect, but that's fine. So they're taking the Hired Crow. This is really good for them because they will continue to have creatures in the board. However, we have another Day of Judgment, which is really good for us. We can even Into the Roil this and draw a card. We don't have Siege set up, so that's a bit of a problem. Oh, and they're going for Alesha. That's why you needed the second sweeper. That's why I snapped it so quickly. Imagine not having a second sweeper. That helps a lot. So now we go Archive, and now we are I mean, this is kinda sweeper, but I'll be honest, against this deck we probably want different cards. This is okay, but they get a lot of triggers by just attacking. Alright. I think we just bounce it, man. If he attacked. Maybe you can play around it a little bit. But you know what? We know that they don't have the card. Let's just go with this one. And this is pretty slow play. So even though we are wasting a little bit of cards. Okay. We haven't lost life, so they don't get the mana, which is really nice. And that's turn. I really think this is good. Puts them behind 3 mana, which they will probably play on the next turn, and we could counter Alesha, which is a really good tempo play. I don't want to highlight the caverns, because that will really show our opponent that we want to counter it, but I think we will see. I think it's on Lizards, because I remember Hired Claw was uncounterable, and she's human something probably. So I think this is the best play. Gecko can hit us for 2, you know, we can live with it. But the fact that we could counter Alesha is massive. And now they're probably, you know, thinking about it. So the optimal play for them is to attack with Gecko. We take this hit. And then they attack so Alesha can enter the battlefield and get another creature. They are greedy. They need to be punished. Let's draw some cards, shall we? And now I can check. Lizard, as expected. And this is a really massive play. Not only they lose their best creature, this can create the whole board out of nowhere. So very important. I think this is a good thing twice, this card, because we get the value from the graveyard. And this one is cheaper and gives you selection. So they still might have a 2 mana play. So maybe we'll have to get to our Get Lost. Oh no, they just cycle cards. That's really good for us. So now we have quite a lot of control over this game. So let's go for water. I want it. I actually want this card. So we could Sleight of Hand and set up the crystal and start milling them super hard. I think we can take this to damage. Guys, this is the turn. This is the turn. And we'll get the discount. So let's take this guy. And here's the crystal. Absolutely terrifying. We could even negate, but probably we won't find too many targets in this deck. Maybe we'll hit Undying Malice at some point or something. I think there's also a similar one. I think it's 2 mana and discounted to 1 if they have Lizards, but I'm not sure. I didn't see this card since months. But I remember there was something in Lizard deck of this type. And now, still Lizard, huh? Okay. Okay, that's a little bit scary. We probably need to get into Siege soon. But with stock up getting discounted, it's pretty good for us. And we can probably bounce all of this in some way. Get Lost. I mean, that's good enough. I'll take it. This is one of the answers. And now, let's go stock up because I need those sieges so we can... That was the wrong tap. No. Okay, that's fine. So, definitely Get Lost. And probably Water Crystal. Just to make sure that we can keep going. But on this turn we need Get Lost into Get Lost. Yeah. Once the board is clear, this will be way, way better for us. They have one card from this turn and one from before, and they didn't cast a creature, so I think this one card is not a creature. This was probably from the last turn. I guess we allow them cycling. Alright. So that was a slight misplay, because I should not allow them to cycle this card, so that was a bit bad. But now it's fine. We should be still very, very ahead. So let's see. They could, of course, in response, cycle the second card, but it seems they like the second card. So this one is random, and this one seems to be nice for them. And we don't want them to attack, actually. So let's go like this. On the next turn, I probably will drop Water Crystal. Moment we hit any kind of siege. Well, that's perfect, isn't it? I don't know what it is. I can assume it's probably something that gets it back. And that's probably everything? Or do they have a 2-drop? Alright, they have another one. Really good for them. This is a very bad draw, of course. I think we go for the crystal, so we get the massive... Oh, right, it's legendary. We just go for next card, because we need to start chaining stuff. This gives us selection, it's better to cast main phase, and that means stock up. Man, we need to do a lot of digging for those sieges. This should be good enough. Man, I want all of those cards, literally. But I think Day of Judgment is too important. Like, this is the card that will get us out of the trouble. Now we can go for this. We play for the mill. And finally, we can start our game plan. It took us long enough. This is a very good card. Alright. I think we have it locked. Our opponent got us to 4 on this turn. Oh man, they can actually kill us. No way. This will be an absolutely perfect lethal. No freaking way, man. They can just do it. What? They missed the play. All they needed to do is use 4 map tokens, pump it to 6/6, and hit face. Man, the classic aggro player, man. Just having all lethals and still missing them. So now we clear the board, and now we start to punish our opponent for not playing correctly. And with Siege, you mill 4 cards, and with this you mill extra 4. So that goes really quick. They might be dead on this turn, by the way. Like, it might be actually so close. And you can see how quickly we can punish our opponent for not playing correct magic. Yeah, I think we'll literally win the game right now, because we can cast this 8 cards. Let's go for Opt. Yep. This was so crazy. Alright, so this is like a poison deck. Okay, that's interesting. They don't have decision, so let's just go with this one. I mean, not the perfect land, but still a land. You know, we will take it. And we have Into the Roil in case they play something that can be bounced. Into Island. So this could be a stock up. I think stock up is super important. They already have started the poison. We take the forest into counterspell. This should be good enough. Unfortunately, I will have to discard something. I think this is too slow. It's not typical aggro deck. They won't have too many creatures. And the ones they will have is we can just bounce with this. So we go forest. Now we have all the mana. A bit of a problem is the fact that now they can counter stuff, but I think it's worth to, to risk it. Even if they counter this one can get through. And that's what we wanted. Now we can start milling them from the next turn onward. Unless they play permanent, then we can use Into the Flood Maw already right now. They also draw quite a lot of cards in this deck, so they will help us. They will help us. And they're going for the Miracle. Well, thank you. That's literally perfect. It will also discourage our opponent from doing this play in the future turns. They just wasted 4 mana. and helped us mill the library. So definitely not what our opponent wanted. Do they? Yeah, they have a bounce spell for this. Yep, exactly, the Serum Snare. However, they only have 4 in the whole deck, and we can just replay it on the next turn. Of course, it will tax our mana a little bit, so that's still a bit of a problem. We have a forest, so it's untapped, which is super nice. Let's go for this one. They don't know that we also have the second one. Let's see if that's a counter spell. But I think that was Bring the Ending forces you to pay 2, so we could. And that's usually the only counter spell they use. I could use this to protect it, but I don't think we need to. Let's go. We can hit Opt with this. Oh, the pressure is... No way they already have another. Alright, that's fine. They will get us to 3. Now the counter spells can counter everything for 2 mana. But at the same time, our opponent has a long way to go. Second one milled. Here's Opt. And you can see the power of this deck. And let's go for Opt, shall we? So they cannot counter anything. Mill, mill, mill. Yep, this is the perfect card, man. Oh man, this is you can see how quickly it goes. And this is only 1 siege. In some of the games you can set up 2, and then you just melt those libraries. So if our opponent ever taps, we go siege, Opt, Into the Roil probably, something like this, and we'll mill 16 card. Oh, they want to draw more. I can respect that. It's only 1 mana, so it's like incredibly efficient. Like it's close to Ancestral Recall actually. You just draw 1 less card. Serum Snare. They actually got another one. That's really good. Like the fact that we need to pay 3 mana is like the slowest part of our game plan, and that's already the 3rd out of 4 in the whole deck. So really good for our opponent. Let's replay it. We kinda have to. Now they can try to counter it. Yep, Bring the Ending. And I think it's worth a counter spell. Because as you can see, they are getting desperate and they have only 1 answer to this in the whole deck. They have 30 cards and 1 card that can prevent this game plan. So now we can start going a little bit crazy. We can probably also play another siege. So Mirex is too slow at this point. They probably need something faster. This is very good, but we can bounce it. Oh, they're going for the Mirex. Interesting. So I think we start with this. Just to show some pressure. I could make it uncounterable, but I don't super crazy need it. We have already enough. So they will tap at Dance Step, and then we'll bounce the Mirex token, so it kinda dies. We need something absolutely better than this. Alright, so... I kid you not, they have like 1 or 2 turns left. Here you go. Let's make a juicy stop at the end. So first things first, let's go Opt and see what the selection is. Yep, and it's going faster than our opponent expected. Let's go for 8 cards. And that was the last one. Now they cannot bounce any of them for the rest of the game. Okay. You could count all the stuff that they have. Please, give me just the card. Nope. Something better, please. Alright, I will get the land, I guess. And now we bounce it. To be fair... No, like I think we need just to go for the top decks. I don't think it's really worth it to wait 1 more turn. And they will be soon out of cards. Don't forget, Day of Judgment is also a sorcery, so it triggers... Alright, I don't need this one. And this tool control is getting annoying. Alright, so we kinda cleared the board. We got rid of all the answers, so now they cannot bounce it. We're at 5, and they need to get us to 10 with the hand. And this one. They will get additional turn, but we can Day of Judgment, so they only get the Mirex token. And the draw from the top is super important. I think it was worth going into the Roil. We had a lot of lands from the top, so at this point we probably should hit something. And basically all of our deck is something that triggers Siege. And they keep drawing. Man, we just need to cast 2 spells. Every spell from the top wins the game. And I don't think they can get us to 10 on this turn. This will be 6, 7, and 8 if they have like perfect draw. Because they need at least, 2 mana to proliferate. They can try to target their own creatures, but I don't think they play this card, and even if they did, it's just one more. So, oh man, this is actually so bad. Man, this was worse play than Mirex, unless they play something else. No, we need one more card. I was like, do we already mill them? Yes, the answer is yes. Let's go. They might have a counter. Let's go for this one. Yep, I appreciate it, man. Let's go. Wait, what? I don't have the mana! I don't have the second white mana! Our opponent would win this game, because I actually... did I tap wrong? We are going first, and this should be a nice hand. We don't have green mana, but we have sources, so... I honestly think we will go with Sleight of Hand here. You kinda want to save them for Siege, but I want to make sure I hit the right stuff. And as you can see, we can cycle Opt into... a Sleight of Hand into Opt. So far, the only problem is the lack of green mana. Absolute useless card, we love to see it. Let's Surveil. Nope. If they play this, they probably don't play too many creatures, and we can always opt at the end step. I kinda really want to hit green mana on the next turn, but first let's see. It seems to be mono-white, but it could be Azorius, so let's see if that will be blue mana, which allows counter spells. I thought it's not Azorius, but that's why you check. And that means we need to hit it fast. Perfect. That was important because this is the only turn when we can play Siege without getting counter-spelled. And now we can set it up, and now our opponent is in World of Hurt. Oh, this will be glorious. Can we go again? Man, the greed is coming out. So if I play this, they will probably counter it. I think we chill here. They need to do something. I think holding this counter spell is super important because we use leftover mana for those opts. And let's see, they kind of will be forced to make a play because we are milling them super hard right now. Not sure if I want... They probably have Get Lost, so I think we keep the extra mana only. Yeah, this is like a full control deck. I really like Water Crystal, but I think I need to hit a land. This is horrible draw. This is a horrible draw. Okay. And we got all the horrible draws. This is really bad. This is actually really bad. So we need to tank another turn. So the idea was that we hit the land, we make progress, and every turn we get a little bit more ahead, and we try to play around Get Lost. We still have another Siege, so if this one dies, it's kinda, you know, not the end of the world, and we're making some progress every turn with opts. But, yeah, our opponent, if they don't have answer to this, they just won't win. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck as much as I did, and we need to talk about this. Not only this build is fully rotation proof, I checked every single card twice, just to make sure you don't craft anything because of me that wouldn't be correct in the future meta. And not only that, we actually switched some of the cards because if you want to play this deck now, just go with Impulse. This was like the #1 card I wanted to include. I included it and then I realized that it won't be here. So we switched it. Now we have to think twice, and this card absolutely fits the archetype. Not only this draws 2 cards, not only it's 2 different castings, but also it gets double discounted with the Water Crystal. We only have to be honest, maybe you can switch Aetherize, because that was a bit of a, you know, gotcha card that nobody expects. So during the game you have this one crazy play nobody expects, but maybe we can just put the 3rd crystal because it's such a good item. It's not RPG, but you get the idea. So basically we have so many cantrips here that triggering Siege is extremely easy, as you have seen, and the build is very deadly. With normal mill builds, it takes a long time to mill your opponent. With this, Siege combined with very often multiple sieges on top of water crystal, man, milling 30, 40, 50 cards is like no issue. Like no issue. And look how many 2-drops, 1-drops you have, and also 2-drops that can get discounted with water crystal to basically 1-drop. So you can, for 5 mana, you can play 5 different spells that both get amplified with like Siege and the Crystal, which will be, for example, 40 cards on 5 mana. So I'm really happy with this build. I want to showcase it more if you guys enjoyed, so tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of gameplay. And I'm pretty happy that we managed to destroy Mono Red and Rabbits. To be absolutely honest, our Mono Red opponent, I believe they had this game, but on the other side it was so close, like literally one different draw and we would win normally. But you know what? Winning by your opponent misplaying is in a way more satisfying. You know that it was deserved. And I know that some of you, the most inquisitive ones, notice that there is some card that is different between at least one of the games and this version that you see in the outro. And you are absolutely correct. Remember this game when I said that we would actually lose the game because we didn't have second white mana for Day of Judgment? Well, now with this build, you would win this game, because those 2 mill lands were replaced after literally that game with Starting Town, because it can provide all 3 colors of mana and would fix this situation so we could win the game. So that was the adjustment after that game. And yeah, this version is better. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your support in every way, and thank you to all the patrons that went extra mile to help this channel. Really appreciate it, guys. You are absolutely awesome. And yeah, I think that's enough for today. Tell me in the comments what's on your mind. I hope you liked it, and see you guys tomorrow.